Any business could die in 90 days. Look at Silicon Valley Bank. They died in like 48 hours, and they've been around for 40 years with like $90 billion of assets. And if you all of a sudden just think that, oh, what I did the last couple of years is going to win today, you're wrong. You will lose. Business is a game of adapting, and those who can pivot and adapt quicker are always the winners. We can lose a business because one guy is leading a company he's not fit to lead. Not generating revenue for your business is how you die. We want to start this business and that business, and we want this product and that product. The best people in the world focus on one thing. What's going on? It's Ryan Pineda here. Welcome to another episode of the Wealthy Way podcast. My mission is to help you not go broke trying to get rich. I want you to be super rich, but don't go broke in all of these other areas of your life trying to pursue the money. So that being said, today I'm going solo, and I got a topic that many of you need to hear. I'm going to be going over the top 10 reasons why your business can fail in 2023. And if you do not pay attention to these 10 reasons, even just one of them, all it takes is one of these reasons to just basically sink your business into nothing. So we do not want that. We want your business to thrive in 2023. And so if any of these things are messing you up, you need to correct them as soon as possible. And I'm going to give you the reasons on how to correct them as well. So I'm not just going to tell you all the doom and gloom. I'm going to give you the solution. And most of these things I've actually struggled with, so I can tell you firsthand, they can sink you. That being said, if this is your first time listening to this podcast, do me a favor, hit subscribe wherever you are listening. Go on YouTube, go on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever. Hit subscribe so that the algorithm knows that you're liking this and that it shows it to other people, because I want to grow this message everywhere. So that being said, let's hop into this. Reason number one, why your business will fail in 2023 is because your focus isn't clear. And so many entrepreneurs, myself included, by the way, struggle with focus because we want to just do a bunch of stuff all at once. Like, we want to start this business and that business, and we want this product and that product. And we want to do a little bit of investing over here. And it ends up making you not good at anything, okay? The best people in the world focus on one thing, okay? If you are, just starting a business, I wouldn't start two, right? Like, I would focus on the one and really hone in on the one thing that you sell really well. When you look at every business we own and, most successful businesses, they all start selling like one core thing. People don't start out as McDonald's and have 100 different products. That doesn't work, right? Even McDonald's, when they first started, it was like, we sell the cheeseburger, fries, and drinks. That's it. That's all we sell. And these are all the ingredients. And then later on, they expanded and did what they did. But, a lot of successful businesses today still focus on one thing. In-N-Out Burger just sells burgers, fries, shakes, and drinks. Like, that's it. Chick-fil-A only sells chicken. They don't have steak or beef or anything else. So, at the end of the day, you need to focus if you are going to succeed at the next level. And if you do not focus, your business will die because it takes extreme focus to win. You've got to be focused on your product, your service. You got to master it. You've got to hone in on your craft. You've got to get everybody clear on the direction that the business is going. And just to give you some example of this, right? Like, I'll give you everything I've been doing with Wealthy World. A lot of you guys may not even know what Wealthy World is because we've been going through this transition to get to this point. But, basically my only education used to be called Future Flipper. And I started it back in 2018 when all we did was teach people how to flip houses. As time went along, more people wanted to learn more things from me. So we said, hey, let's teach them how to wholesale. Let's teach them how to buy rentals, okay? And then, things kept progressing and people wanted to learn social media. I'm like, let's create a social media coaching program. And, then I was like, well, let's create Airbnb and like all these other things that I had done successfully, people wanted to learn from. And so I started like all these different brands and companies. And then eventually I realized I couldn't promote them all because there was no focus. And, it was confusing people because there's too many things to buy. And we still struggle with that problem, by the way, but, we're slowly bringing the focus back in so that everyone is clear on the vision, not only just the customers, but our team internally. And so, for education at this point, we rebranded everything Wealthy. That's why, our whole education ecosystem is called Wealthy World. And essentially, we're building Wealthy World out as an alternative to college. And so like college, you can take a lot of different classes depending on where you're at, right? If you're a freshman, you need these entry-level classes. If you're a senior, okay, you're getting ready to graduate. You need these kinds of classes. And so we're going to offer all these different classes in Wealthy World, whether it's real estate investing, content creation, business, entrepreneurship. We got Wealthy Kingdom for Christians, and we're going to continue to add a lot of different things. And so for me, the focus is on like, hey, we got Wealthy World. We got like this college-like ecosystem. Let's just push people there. And in turn, by focusing on that, people will find my other businesses. At the end of the day, they'll find True Books, my CPA firm. They'll find Pineda Media for getting their content made. Like, they'll no doubt find those things once they're in Wealthy World. But my focus at this point with almost everything related to social media is to get people in Wealthy World. Now, they might come in through one of the different classes, right? They might only be interested in real estate, so they join Wealthy Investor, and that's fine. They might only be interested in creating content, so they join Wealthy Creator. That's fine. But we're very clear on our focus now, and so I think that business is going to grow. And you have to do the same, especially if you have a lot of different things going on. And that's going to help you out. Okay. So number one is make sure your focus is clear or your business will fail. Okay. Number two is that you're bleeding cash in places that you don't see. Okay. So every business basically has like a bleed somewhere that they're just allowing to bleed, and they need to stop it right now. I know that we've spent money over the years on just things that I couldn't even tell you what we were using it for, right? Like we would do an audit of all of our expenses, and then we would see like, oh, what the heck is happening with this? Like, do we still use this software? Do we still use this CRM? Do we still use this provider? And the answer was always no. And it's like, we're just losing hundreds of dollars every month, or in some cases, thousands of dollars every month on stuff that we just don't even need. And so every business goes through this, and once you get to a really big level, you could be losing hundreds of thousands or millions, not paying attention to what every part of your business is using in resources. So bleeding cash is definitely something that can cause you to fail in 2023. Okay. Reason number three that your business could fail is that you are not adapting. So the world is changing very rapidly. You're starting to hear about AI and then blockchain and all these tech things and all these trends. You're hearing about interest rates. You're hearing about the economy, stimulus, like all of these things play a major role in your business. And if you all of a sudden just think that, oh, what I did the last couple of years is going to win today, you're wrong. You will lose. Okay. Business is a game of adapting, and those who can pivot and adapt quicker are always the winners. Like if you ever watched me and my businesses, we are always pivoting and adapting. I'm trying to always catch what I believe to be the next trend, because that's where business is going. That's what people are going to need. That was one of the reasons why I started Pineda Media, because it was like, dude, every entrepreneur is going to have to create content and media. That much I know 1000% for sure. And every year that I'm in social media and I just keep watching entrepreneurs, the more I see like they come around to it. And so I just know it's going to be a massive thing the next 5 to 10 years. And so I'm already positioning my business and everything else for that trend, right? AI is something that can definitely help your business. I think we're still we're very much at the early stages with AI, but if you're not playing with Chat GPT and these different tools to see how they can help your business, you're behind, because somebody else in your industry is, and they're figuring it out and they're getting customers. Okay. So you need to constantly be adapting. You need to constantly be innovating. You cannot rely on whatever you did 2 years ago or 1 year ago, or even 6 months ago. You have to always be adapting. And so, my house flipping business was a big example of this. Like interest rates skyrocketed the last 6 months of 2022, and we didn't adapt as quick as I wanted to, and it ended up costing us a lot of money. Like we should have adapted way quicker, but we didn't. And so, it cost us a bunch of money. Now we're adapting and we're moving and we're shaking and things are going really good. But, it's only because we adapted. If we would not have adapted, even though we adapted slow, we really could have been out of business, truthfully. Like any business could die in 90 days. Heck, look at Silicon Valley Bank. They died in like 48 hours and they've been around for 40 years with like $90 billion of assets. So any business can fall tomorrow if you're not constantly adapting. So make sure you're doing that, okay? Number 4, here's the 4th reason why your business could fail this year. And that is your sales team, okay? If you're doing a great job generating leads and doing all the things you got to do, your sales team needs to close. And this is something that I've had to learn the hard way over the years, right? Like, I remember we were generating all these leads and like, I'm thinking, man, we should be making more money based on how many leads are going through the door. And we just weren't. And, as time went on, I started hiring better salespeople, creating better processes, everything else. And with the same amount of leads, our revenue doubled or even tripled. And it's like, wow, even if I did nothing different except get new salespeople with a different process, we could just generate triple the revenue with the same amount of leads. That's crazy. But I still think, like, even for us, our sales team and our process can get a lot better. I believe that, how we sell across all the different businesses can be improved upon. And so for you, if your business is generating traffic and it's not converting into revenue, what it usually tells me is I'm assuming you have a good product, because if you don't have a good product, then you're definitely never selling, right? But if you've had some level of success selling a product and you know that people like it and it's still relevant today, then your sales team is probably the issue. And you got to figure out how to sell this product much better. I'm constantly selling, okay? I'm selling myself as, a mentor, as a boss. I'm selling myself as a husband to my wife of like, look, I'm still a good husband. I'm selling myself as a dad. I'm selling myself as a podcast host. Like I'm selling myself in every time I present myself to the public, I am selling something, right? And so if I don't do a good job of selling, people don't want to come back and watch the next episode. My wife isn't going to react to me the same way as something else. It's just, if you do a bad job of selling, it's hard to get attention and it's hard to make, revenue and live the life you want to live. Like everyone should learn to be a good salesperson. I 1000% believe that because it's going to help you in just normal everyday life and everything. But yeah, I think you need to definitely be looking at your sales team and going from there. Let's jump into reason number 5 now, which kind of goes hand in hand with reason number 4, but it is the inverse. And that is you aren't generating enough leads. So let's just say your sales team is actually doing really good. The process is good. They're following up. They understand how to sell the product. They do great when they get opportunities, but you're not generating enough opportunities, right? There's always this debate that sales and marketing, like which one's more important? And if I had to guess, me personally, I would always say marketing is more important than sales, because if there is no good marketing, sales just don't happen, right? And like when I look at what the marketplace rewards these days, it's attention. It's those who can actually market and get the product out there. Influencers have so much power because they're good at getting attention. That's simply marketing. And so they can choose to sell different products because they're such great marketers. So if I had to guess, marketing was more important. But at the end of the day, your business can fail because you're not generating enough leads. It's that simple. When I first became a realtor in 2010, I knew nothing about sales or marketing. I was kind of naturally gifted at sales, but I had no idea how to generate leads. I would literally put ads in the newspaper. Seriously, I was 21 years old, and I put ads in the newspaper to try and get leads as a realtor. I didn't know that you could cold call. I didn't know that you could door knock. I didn't know about Zillow. I didn't know about social media. I had no idea how to generate a lead other than what my mom told me. And, my mom had been a realtor for 25 plus years at that point. And my mom was never a great marketer. So why would it makes perfect sense why I didn't know how to market, right? So if you are struggling to generate revenue for your business, like number one, not generating revenue for your business is how you die, right? If you don't have enough cash going in and you have too much cash going out, you die. That's what puts your business under. And so the way you get cash coming in is getting leads and people to come visit your business and your store or whatever it is you're selling. So you need to work on your marketing. And what I would say goes back to point number one with focus. Focus on a marketing strategy that you want to dominate. If it's social media, go all in on social media. If it's, cold calling, go all in on cold calling. If it's text messaging, go all in on that. If it's, running YouTube ads, all in on that. But, most great marketers have the backbone of how they market, and then they do some other things as well. Like for us in our businesses today, outside of the house flipping business and all that, the backbone is social media, clearly, right? Like I put out content, it gets traffic for our businesses. In house flipping, it's always been TV. TV was the backbone of how we generated deals. And doesn't mean we don't do other things. We run, ads, we cold call, we do stuff like that for all the companies, but there's always a backbone. And so if you're trying to generate leads, you got to figure out what you're going to really specialize in. Okay. Let's get to reason number 6. And that is your funnel isn't good enough. So this is something we talk about at Wealthy Creator a lot, where we want to make sure that the funnel is optimized from when somebody sees your video to how they get to your website. Okay. Because for instance, and this doesn't even have to be on social media, but let's just say your funnel is from, your Instagram and you're like, hey, go click the link in my bio and buy my stuff, right? Essentially. Like that's your funnel. It's like a one-step funnel. You're saying, hey, you're here, go here and just buy it, right? That usually doesn't work, right? Like if you look at my funnels, if you've ever bought anything from me on Instagram, I'll be like, hey, DM me this word. And then I have an auto responder that DMs, when that word is DM'd, it sends them a link to the funnel, right? And the funnel doesn't just go direct to purchase. It's usually like, hey, watch this case study or this video. It's going to take like 8 to 10 minutes and we'll clearly explain what we can do for you, right? And now I know if they watch this video, it's going to have another call to action from that video, the next stage of the funnel. And it's going to say, hey, if you're ready to go, apply for a call with Ryan's team today, right? And so ideally, if they fill out that application for a call, they've ideally seen my content, they've seen this video, and now they've booked a call. And so hopefully they're qualified for this call and they're informed and they've obviously shown enough desire for whatever it is we're selling, okay? And so, that's the funnel. And, there's other parts of the funnel too with thank you pages and, reminders for them to show up to the call. And all of this plays a role in how well you convert, right? Because with a bad funnel where you just say, hey, go to this website and you're in, maybe you convert at like 1% of the people that see it, right? And that's, let's just use a different example. Let's just say it's 10%. Okay. But with the right funnel, it might be 40%, right? That at least generate a lead for your company, just using hypotheticals. But like that is the difference we're talking about. The right funnel could 4X or 10X what your other, method would have been. So if you're trying to get revenue for your bank, and you're spending time generating leads and you're training the sales team, make sure the funnel that you're going through is on point. Okay. Number 7. Okay. This is a good one. This is one that I've always enjoyed and am constantly looking at. But the reason your business can fail is because you have the wrong people in the wrong seats. Okay. So you have people who are in one department that have no business being there. You have somebody leading the company that has no business leading. You have somebody handling some like administrative tasks that should be on the phone doing sales. Like the wrong people are in the wrong seats, aka the wrong positions. Or they're not even supposed to be at your company because they're just the wrong person, period. Okay. So you need to get the right people in the right seats. And I've talked a lot about how we hire people. And it's actually why I'm super excited for our new program, Wealthy Business. For those of you who are interested, you can go to wealthybusiness.io to see what that's all about. But we're going to teach people how to hire people the right way for the right seats, all the way from their personality test to their desire to their experience to how you compensate them, hold them accountable, everything you need to know about getting the right person in the right seat. And so if you have the wrong person in the wrong seat, they can tank your business for real. Okay. We can lose a business because one guy is leading a company he's not fit to lead. And, that people can change too, by the way, right? Like they might have been the right person in the right seat, for a period of time. And then now the business is in a different position. The market's in a different position and they're no longer the right person anymore. And it is what it is, right? You got to constantly be looking at who is the right person for the right seat. And, there are people who are really good when things are good and everyone's happy, and that's when they thrive. And then, when things get tough, they're not great, and then there are people who, they're kind of like wartime people, and they're not so great when things are good because they're always stressing out and whatever, even though things are good. But then, when things are bad, they're like understanding what needs to happen, and they're on high alert. So, getting the right people in the right seats is super important. Let's jump into number 8. Okay. This one is something that you need to be obsessed with if you own a business and you're an entrepreneur. And that is, you need to focus on your brand. Okay. If you don't focus on your brand, your business will fail. Now, what am I talking about here with brand? Well, it's not just your personal brand. Like that is an element of it, but the business brand itself. Every big business in America has some kind of brand, right? You look at the Apple logo, you understand what it represents. They make high quality, tech. It's elegant. A certain type of person buys Apple products versus, the weirdos who like Android, it just represents something different. Lululemon represents something. Like there's brand association with what it represents. Patek, the watch I'm wearing right now, it represents something. Okay. And people are going to feel the same way about your brand one way or the other. Okay. Personal brand is very simple, right? Like if people, were to say, hey, what does Ryan, his personal brand represent? I would hope it lines up with what I want them to feel like it represents, right? Because if in my mind, it represents one thing, but then it's being perceived as something totally different from the people who watch me on an everyday basis, I'm in trouble. Like there's a huge divide here that is not good. So I need to make sure that what it is I want people to perceive my brand as is actually how they are perceiving it. And if it's not, I got to find the disconnect and figure out why that's happening. And it could be because I'm not explaining it good enough, or I'm not the person I think I am. Like people are saying like, yeah, you say this, but I mean, this is what really we think of you, right? So one of those two things is happening. And, you got to be super obsessed with your brand. I'm very obsessed with my personal brand, and it sounds like, I guess, that sounds like not good, but you have to be, you have to be obsessed with how people perceive you, because that's going to affect how many leads you get, the market that, you're going to be competing in. Everything is like your reputation's everything, right? And so how people perceive you is extremely important. And the same thing is true for your business. How people perceive the business is extremely important. Okay. So focus on your brand. Point number 9 that can sink your business is the culture. And, culture can come in many ways, right? Like it could be from not having the proper core values, not hiring people the right way. It could be from yourself and your poor leadership. And at the end of the day, if you've got a toxic culture, it's going to be a tough road. You're probably not going to make it. There are not many companies that have toxic cultures that survive, right? Good companies survive a long time because they have great culture. They have great people. Even though their product and marketing tactics might change, they're maintaining their company culture. And you have to do that if you want your business to win. Especially culture comes into play when things are tough, right? When things are good, a toxic culture might be okay. because everybody's just dealing with it. They're like, you know what? Like, it sucks, but we're winning. So what? Toxic culture becomes apparent when things aren't so good. Then everybody's playing the blame game. Everybody hates each other. Everybody is, at each other's throats because of the culture. All right. So if you want your business to win, you got to fix the culture. And that might involve getting rid of some people that should not be there. We said right people, right seats. You're going to have to get rid of some people to change that culture. And that leads me to point number 10, which I want to share with you. And that is, you're just not investing properly. And what I mean by that is you're not utilizing the resources that you have in the right way. And so capital, money, that's a resource. At the end of the day, how you choose to invest that money into your business or into your next car will dictate whether or not your business works or fails, right? I see a lot of people who make that choice. They just can't wait. And so they go buy the new thing. And then all of a sudden their business suffers. And to me, that's just poor investing. Now, I'm not against buying nice things. Obviously, I've got nice cars. I've got nice watches. I live in a beautiful home. But those things don't hurt my businesses. Like, our businesses will operate the same way whether I would, buy that car or not. Okay. And in fact, for me being on social media, buying nice things actually helps because it gets more views and that generates more revenue. So it's like this watch, this Patek will make me way more than it costs me. Like it's really all marketing at the end of the day. And it just so happens that I love it as well. And, this Patek was actually a gift from some of my partners. So, it didn't cost me anything. But even if I did buy it, it would still make way more sense than like what it perceived as. But, most people, they're not in that position. They can't justify this super expensive home making sense as a good investment. So you got to invest your resources properly, whether it's capital. Okay. Another resource is your time, how you're choosing to spend your time every single day. What am I investing my time in? Am I going to develop myself? Am I going to develop my business? Am I going to take care of my body? Am I going to spend time with my kids and my wife and, my faith? Like, how am I investing my time? How you invest your time will dictate what kind of person you become. Okay. Point blank. So you have to make sure you're investing your resources properly. And then the last one would be, investing with like the people that you have. Like, are they in the right seats like we're talking about? Are they doing the right things on a day-to-day basis? How are you using that resource? And if you use it right, your business will do well. So those are the top 10 reasons why your business might fail this year. If you have any of those as something going on, okay, you're not alone. I've been through them all. That's why I was able to list them, and I'm still kind of going through some of them, and I know that they're problems and I need to fix them. So, if you identified some, put them in the comments and YouTube. I'm curious which ones you're going through, but if you're trying to figure out how to scale and grow this year, we would love to help you out in all the different things I mentioned. I think the most applicable for anyone listening to this would be Wealthy Business, which you can go to wealthybusiness.io, and we're going to teach you a lot of these things for running a business so much better. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you catch the next one. We're going to post it right here on the YouTube channel. It's going to be teaching you how to grow a business and take it to the next level. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.